you come in and you look at what's going on, even in the show, right? Because he went against All For One, and he shouldn't have won that fight. Let's be honest. He shouldn't have won that fight, and because he was basically operating at like at 15%, 15 to 20%. Ever since the first fight he had with him, and he usually revert back. So that's what made him lose his power altogether. And he basically was fighting, putting a smile on his face all the time to show civilians like, hey, I'm always going to be here, which is his slogan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because it's one of those things where it gives hope.
Yeah.
And without hope,
especially for the
no
helpless.
Future.
Especially for the helpless, right?
Oh, that's good. Without hope, there's no future.
Yeah. So,
hey, quote me on that.
Welcome back to another episode of Weeble Slice. So today we are back. We are back with a pretty good one. But before we get into anything, make sure you like,
subscribe. Subscribe. I can't talk.
But today we are discussing a lot of very best anime quotes of all time across the whole category, all around.
All time is a pretty steep stipulation,
but you get the gist.
Yeah, best anime quotes.
So that's what we're gonna be discussing. Some may hit us, because some may not hit us. But every weeb in this world have some quotes that really stuck with us throughout time.
So long story short, your boy was on the internet scrolling, and I said, "Yo, this was hitting." So without further ado, let's get into it. And the first one is from none other than your boy Asta from Black Clover. Not giving up is my magic.
So my first thing, do you actually recall when you actually used that quote?
He usually say something along those lines when he's like deep and in trouble and stuff like that. So it really is, to me, it's really the Naruto quote.
I want to say that. I think it's pretty cliche overall, right? And it's not trying to be a jerk, but it's even from Goku. Because Goku technically is like one of the originator when it comes to like not giving up, right? Turning Super Saiyan is defending the people who can't defend themselves.
Well, it's funny you say that because the next quote is from none other than your boy, Son Goku. Power comes in response to a need, not a desire.
Now, now that is true. That's fire. That is fire.
Yeah,
that is fire. So, shout out to Toriyama for that one because, boy, I'm telling you right now. Especially when people who go to the gym who exercise a lot of discipline in life, that stuff really hits you when you really think about it, right? Because there's plenty of days that you have to do stuff that you don't feel like doing, right?
100%.
And him saying that, it reminds me of what happened when Vegeta, this when Goku first turned Super Saiyan for the very first time, right? And he was obviously the person who actually trailblazed from Super Saiyan all the way up to what they are now. And he's basically saying to him how he became a Super Saiyan to begin with. He actually drew the power out for something he need instead of wanted.
So I agree with you. Next quote comes from none other than one of my favorite shows, Haiku.
So go ahead. What's the quote?
From your boy Hinata Shoyo. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams.
So how did that particular quote speaks to you directly?
So for me, pretty much it's just saying that you need to dream big and kind of just follow your dreams, and don't stop for nobody. Just because somebody tell you can't do something don't mean you can't. I mean, you shouldn't try.
I will say this, right? Throughout life, you're going to have plenty of daily obstacles that going to knock you down, but always take it a step at a time to eventually hitting your goal in the long term. So that's how I would take it.
100%. So this quote comes from yo boy, yo show, Bleach.
What did Ichigo say?
You just knew it was Ichigo. Yeah. So you know why big brothers are born first? To protect the little ones that come after them.
So this is from the very first episode. It's like, I think the very first episode when he first got his Shikigami powers, right? If I'm saying it wrong. If I'm wrong, you can correct me in the comments. But when he got his powers to be a samurai, but I can't think of it right now. But I know exactly what I'm talking about. He basically wanted to kill hollows. And he basically got his power for the first time from Rukia, and Rukia basically transferred her powers to him. This is the very first episode, so it's no spoilers. So
I haven't seen the first episode,
So-
so it's fine.
she transferred her powers to him so he can basically protect his little ones, because the hollows, which is like ghosts or some type of spirits that eat humans and stuff like that, or people from the spirit realm as well, and he was basically using that quote to protect his loved ones, and we all can learn to protect our loved ones, so that's pretty straightforward.
Well, this one, since you're talking about protected people, this from your boys at My Hero Academia. Your boy All Might. I smile to show the pressure of heroes and to trick the fear inside of me.
What's your what do you think about that particular quote?
Oh, it just reminds me of pretty much before he got the power when he was a skinny guy, and pretty much everybody has that fear inside of them. Can I do it? Will I be able to do it? Will I survive after doing it? And just being able to, you know what I'm saying, reframe your mindset to get on with it.
So I'm going to add to your talking point, right? I think it's the way to psych himself out to go into very stressful situations and come out on top and be victorious. Because it's plenty of situation that you come in and you look at what's going on, even in the show, right? Because he went against All For One, and he shouldn't have won that fight. Let's be honest. He shouldn't have won that fight, and because he was basically operating at like at 15%, 15 to 20%. Ever since the first fight he had with him, and he usually revert back. So that's what made him lose his power altogether. And he basically was fighting, putting a smile on his face all the time to show civilians like, hey, I'm always going to be here, which is his slogan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because
So-
it's one of those things where it gives hope.
Yeah.
And without hope,
There's
know,
especially for
there's
the
no
helpless,
future.
especially for the helpless, right?
Ooh, that's good. Without hope, there's no future.
Yeah. So
Hey, quote me on that.
so he basically was going through a lot of stressful situations to protect the people who couldn't protect themselves. So which made him an ultimate hero.
Moving on, my boy, Rock Lee. A dropout will be a genius through hard work.
Now, why do you think he said that?
Well, because he only knows taijutsu, and that's like legitimately it. And so he had to work twice as hard as everybody else because he doesn't know genjutsu or ninjutsu. So pretty much, and he still was determined to be a ninja, which goes to show if you put the work in, you can achieve your dreams, even if everybody keeps telling you no. Because everybody's like, oh, you don't know ninjutsu or genjutsu, you can never be a ninja. And he is probably the second best taijutsu fighter other than his sensei, Might Guy. It was acknowledged by Madara.
So this is my perspective, right? It reminds me of the fight between him and Sasuke for the first time, right? And at that time, they considered Sasuke as a genius, right? He was a person who was excelling in everything. And the reason why he was saying hard work will always be, it basically, to put it down into basic terms, hard work will always be talent. All the time, every day of the week. As long as you outwork that person, you will beat that person in the long run. And he showed him in that episode real quick, even though you are blessed with those eyes, your body cannot keep up with me. And he was letting Sasuke have it in that episode, boy. But that's my reception of that particular quote.
So this next one is from your boy at One Punch Man. I said it like it's a company at One Punch. Saitama, I'll leave tomorrow's problem for tomorrow's me.
I actually think like that in real life a lot.
So
I say that's Jamel's problem tomorrow. That's not a problem for me today because
you can't stress yourself out over everything that happens. You got to kind of roll with the punches and just take things in stride.
yeah, because life throws you curveballs all the time, and there is no reason just to stress yourself out over the little things. And you're like, sometimes you can't control it. You're like, you know what? I would deal with it tomorrow. I'll let future me worry about that tomorrow. It's not gonna kill me today. It's no big deal. There's no reason to overthink it or anything like that. But I literally take that quote and I already apply it to myself in real life.
So these quotes is hitting for you, huh?
I won't say it hidden because it didn't register for me to think about those quotes on my day-to-day life.
Well, yeah, I'm saying like right now though, you're resonating with the quotes, so they're hitting.
Well, it's a lot of quotes that's overall anime that really speaks to a lot of weebs or anime fans because that's what brings us into the.
This what brings us together.
Yeah, that's what brings us into this particular medium overall anyways, because it's plenty of shows that get you out your seat based on quotes, actions, different variations of ways that gets us off our seat.
True.
And certain quotes will stick with you for a very long time, regardless of the show.
So, moving on, we got Tokyo Ghoul. I don't know if you're familiar. Have you watched?
Let me put it like this: it fell off the deep end second half.
Second season, everybody
Yeah,
said
yeah.
it because they didn't go didn't go based off the manga.
But
They did their
I
own
will
thing.
say this though: the word on the street,
They gonna remake
it.
They remaking it.
Yeah, they giving it the Brotherhood treatment. If they give it the Brotherhood treatment, I will be there day one because the first season was spectacular.
All right, let me give you this quote. Ken Kaneki, main character, never trust anyone too much. Remember, the devil was once an angel.
What you think about it?
I think pretty much he's saying don't put all your eggs into one basket and don't put anything past anyone because you just never know. I don't know if I necessarily think like that all the time, I think that
I think it's subjective. I think that particular quote is subjective because it's based on person to person, right? As a person is not trustworthy, of course you're gonna think like that, right?
Right.
But if a person is, you can't. It's kind of hard to have that mentality.
I would say evaluate your circle.
Yeah, you just have good evaluation skills on assessing people and what they mentality is or what their objective is for you or y'all type of dynamics of y'all relationship.
For sure. So this one comes from Seven Deadly Sins, Escanar. I have no reason to feel hatred towards those beneath me. All I feel towards them is pity.
So that's coming from a position of being superior, right? Just extremely. That's just in your mind, you know you're much stronger than them.
That boy got power, but he was one of the strongest Seven Deadly Sins, so that's no surprise.
Yeah, that's why he moved the way he moved, or have that type of mentality that I'm better than you.
So this one's just from that you mentioned earlier, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Who was it? Edward?
Is Elric.
Yep.
Edward. How can you move forward if you keep regretting the past? Ooh.
You can't. If you still live in the past, you can't move towards the future. And that's in every aspect.
Yeah.
But you can go ahead and speak your piece on that.
Well, and that one's just self-explanatory.
That's why I ain't go.
I'm gonna let that one just resonate on y'all. Just sizzle on that.
So that's why I ain't going too much in depth because it's not too much to add to it.
So this is from your boy Itachi Uchiha. You can't trust them Uchihas. People's lives don't end when they die. It ends when they lose faith.
Can you elaborate on that for yourself?
Pretty much when you stop believing in yourself, when you stop believing in things that you're striving for, that's when you die, at least on the inside.
Yeah.
Not actually die.
I got you now. I completely understand. If you just remove yourself from your purpose, whatever that purpose may be, and you just a shell of yourself, you might well be good as dead. That's basically what the quote is.
Yeah. So this one's an exciting one from your boy Eren Yeager.
What did he say?
If you win, you live. If you lose, you die. If you don't fight, you can't win.
Yeah, that's what we always say. You can apply that to everything, though. If you don't take your shot, every shot that you don't take never goes in, right? So if you don't never shoot or never take a chance, it never happens.
Exactly.
So,
well, this one is also from Attack on Titan. It's your boy Levi. Give up on your dreams and die. So
I'm trying to think. But when did he ever say that? I'm trying to think.
That one, I can't remember.
Maybe either.
But I feel like it's really just on the same lines of the last quote.
Yeah, I don't. There's nothing to add to that one. I'm not even going to lie to you.
He said there's nothing to add. Your boy from Full Metal Alchemist, Roy Mustang.
I like Roy.
This was real short. It's a terrible day for Rain.
Well, if you have not seen Full Metal, this particular quote doesn't speak to you at all. But if you haven't seen the show, that's on you, because he basically saying it's a bad day to Rain because he just really lost a good friend of his.
Yeah, he's crying.
Yeah, and he basically at the funeral and just Rain.
Yeah, onions in his eyes.
Yeah, and he was trying to be very stoic for all his peers around him. So just adding Rain just basically made the situation more intense for him. So that's basically what he's referring to.
Light Yagami.
What did like
I've
say?
never seen this.
You never
so
seen Death Note?
I haven't seen
Oh,
Death
see,
Note.
don't ever try to play me about a certain show if you never seen Death Note.
I haven't seen Death Note, but let me get this quote out the way. I'll take a potato chip and eat it.
That's not a that's not a good quote, but I know.
Look, I didn't come up with these. Just so y'all know, I didn't come up with these. These were on the list that people said spoke to them.
I know what episode it came from because it was so. Since you've not seen the show, Death Note obviously based on the title of the show. He came across this note that came from like a different type of RAM, and the Death Note allows you to write people's names in it, and people would literally die from a heart attack. But Light Yagami was basically testing it out on basically criminals. He was only killing criminals for the longest, and he was basically strategizing like, what's the limitations of this book? So he was putting like what time they would die, how they would die, if it was an accident, everything like that. And he was like, oh, I can be very detailed about how they die. They can choke on some food, and I can say how they die. So he started being very strategic on how people were dying. But it was a person who was part of the Japanese like investigation squad, something like that, named L, and they basically had like a chess match the whole time. And we basically was trying to the investigator was trying to figure out who was the person killing all these people, and he was basically trying to be discreet while he was doing it the whole time. And while he was doing that, he was basically killing people, writing people's names, and then I'm gonna take a chip and bite it. And that's the reference from the episode that the quote is from. Yeah, I was going somewhere with that. I wasn't just.
I was like, "Where is he going with this?
Yeah.
Maybe it's gonna circle back around."
Yeah, I wasn't just talking.
All right, so this one I believe is from Code Geass. It's from I'm about to butcher the name. Lelouch,
man. Lelouch Lamperouche.
Yes, Lelouch Lamperouche.
Put some respect on Lelouch name, man.
Look, I haven't seen this show.
That's like a GOAT. That's an S tier anime.
It's in my log. I just haven't watched it.
Tier anime.
All right, let me get the quote. Let me get this quote. Change will never come about if you don't make it happen.
So, I'm gonna make this brief, right? So, Lelouch was first. He's a very strategic, highly intelligent student, right? And if you have not seen Code Geass, I'm just gonna let you know. The show is really good. Like I said, S tier. And basically, I don't know if they call them Americans, but these people, it's called battalions, right? Battalions are people who come over and take over other people's countries, like raw, brute force. And they was taking over the whole world, not just certain countries. But for this particular show, they cover Japan. So these battalions, that's what they call themselves. These are royalties. They go over and they took over Japan and called them Area 11. They stripped their name, nationality, everything. Japan is non-existent. They are not Japanese people. They are 11s. So they basically, once they got stripped of everything, they started doing rebellion and trying to fight back against the battalions. And Lelouch is actually, his bloodline is for battalion. He's actually royal blood, but he's fighting against the royal bloodline for Japan. And that's how that quote actually came to be, which is crazy. Lelouch is S tier protagonist, man. Crazy dude.
So we're going to summarize this up. I have one quote that I'm going to add to this, and then I'll let you give a quote. Mm-hmm. So the quote that I'm going to add is none other than my boy Kakashi Takate.
Hatake.
That's what I said. Anywho, those who break the rules are scum. Those who abandon their friends are worse than scum.
100% agree on that one.
So that's one quote that kind of stuck with me.
That's for people who actually value friendship, though.
Yeah. Well, friendship's hard to come by these days, but that's my quote. Now, what you got?
Well, you already know what's about to come down this alley lane. So, for me personally, if you don't know, I'm a huge Pain fan from Naruto. Just a huge fan overall. I think he was written excellent. And I love his backstory. But the quote that I'm referring to is, those who do not understand true pain can never understand true peace. And I was like, boy, that's deep. You may not think it's deep, but for me it's deep, right? Basically, it was just saying you have to go through a lot of pain in life, right, to really understand the true blessing it can bring from you, right? Especially as a man, right? Even in real life, you really have to go through the trenches. You really have to experience a lot of bad things to appreciate the little things in life.
Oh, I get where you're going with this, and I agree. So let me know
You guys let us
down in
know
the comment.
what is some good quotes for you,
Exactly.
and what spoke to you throughout the anime genre overall. Because it's plenty of anime quotes that spoke to people directly and that made them a fan of that particular series.
Yeah, let us know. Do you got any quotes? What did you think about the quotes that we had on the show? And if you like content like this, let us know down in the comment below.
But I don't got anything else to add.
Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel.
And as always, we are Reboot Slice, and we are out.